What is up, folks? Welcome once again to another session, your daily sessions for Hot Issue What's for Lunch together with me, Mio Adlan. How has your day been so far? Hopefully, you're having a glorious afternoon. Hopefully, you guys are having a great lunch being prepared for you guys. Kepada siapa yang tak makan lunch lagi, mungkin dah ada hidangan tengah hari yang sangat-sangat anda tunggu dan juga for those who already had their lunch. Well, hope you guys had a good and healthy lunch at that. So today, as normal, we're going to be talking about what are the hottest things that's happening all around Malaysia, and together to talk about all of this hot issue, we obviously have my partner in crime, ladies and gents. Allow me to introduce to you once again, Mr. Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
Hi, very good afternoons. Yes, we have a lot of hot issues today, and ones that involve you. You have told us this now before the show. I think it's good to highlight what you have faced.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's a lot of problems that a lot of us are actually going through every single day, especially during these testing times. And definitely, these are the kind of things that we want to highlight to all of you Malaysians out there. Well, not just Malaysians, obviously, any one of you across the globe. What are the things that needs to be talked about? Kena ada apa? Sebab benda-benda macam ni, kalau kita tak bercakap pasal benda ni, kalau kita tak bersembang pasal benda-benda macam ni, benda macam ni mungkin orang akan lupakan. So it is our responsibility. We're taking it as our responsibility to make sure that people keep on talking about it so that things can be done about it. Correct or not, Melvin?
Definitely. We can just keep quiet and hope that things get better by itself. It's not such things anymore. We have to work hard towards getting improvements.
Exactly, and we want to give a special thanks. We want to give a special thanks to our viewers. We got Daniel Park online. We got Ho Hung Fat on the line. We got Nick, our resident watcher. Thank you so much for you guys for coming on and watching us on the show. Feel free to drop in any comments or any questions that you have. And more often or not, I think Melbourne will be more than happy to address your questions. But also, don't forget to make sure you guys share out this video and tell your friends of the stories that we are going to be talking about today. One story that we want to talk about today is about Jeng. We got contract doctors on strike. Melvin, what is going on?
Yes. Well, our cases has been increasing to 5 figures, 10, 11, 12,000. And of late, we have also issues from the committees of the contract medical officers who have they actually challenge the governments for their demands, which on my personal opinions, is nothing highly unreasonable demands they make, because they want to have a secure job. They're still on contractual, and they have no lights at the end of the tunnel for them. So I think we should actually highlight these issues because in this pandemic period, especially now, we have such a daily high rates, positive rates. We cannot afford to have our medical officers to go on strike or to quit. That will make things worse. Do you agree with that, Emil?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is actually very close to my heart personally, Melvin. Kerana apa? I'm married to a doctor. Saya sebenarnya isteri saya adalah seorang doktor. Walaupun beliau bukan seorang doktor kontrak seperti yang kami nyatakan dalam topik kita hari ini, which what we're discussing about today. But at the end of the day, it's all about the well-being of these medical officers, regardless whether they're on contract or not, regardless whether they're permanent, regardless if they're on the private sector, because doctors are doctors. And as you mentioned, sebiji apa yang you cakap tu, doctors ni, they are doing a lot of things. They are literally sacrificing their lives, being on the front lines to help and assist the country. Kerana sekarang ni kita dalam pandemic COVID-19 ni, we're in this current COVID-19 pandemic, and this is not the time for anyone out there to come and pick and choose and play with these people's well-beings, because at the end of the day, kalau doktor tak ada, I don't think we can survive at all, isn't it, Melvin?
That's definitely, especially this period. Mio, do you give a guessing how many contract doctors are there in the country at the moment?
Okay, I'm gonna be on the conservative side and say maybe about 1,000.
No, it's 23 times multiplied. It's 23,000 contract doctors,
Wow.
and
Okay, that's a lot.
that's a lot. I mean, well, at this stage, it's actually not enough. We have,
Mm,
I read in the paper yesterday, even public hospital have to send their non-COVID-19 patients to private hospital to make room for the positive cases. So
mm,
imagine, yes, 20,000, 3,000. If they go on strikes, what will happen to us? What happened to the system? Our it's no joke. So
mm,
I plead that the government do listen to them because they want to be this is something they want to do to service the nations, but they feel insecure.
mhm.
Right? They do not have the benefits. They not go further advancements, like further their studies or advancements in the career as long they remain as a contract officer.
Mhm.
So they don't
Well,
have opportunities at all.
yeah, no. What I'm trying to think about is that again, I am not condoning this one bit. Again, I'm with the doctors here. Saya memang again, being married to a doctor, I truly understand what is it all about, the efforts and the sacrifice that these doctors, what they have to endure and everything. Maybe kadang-kadang orang kata, alah doctors, diorang tak akan buat apa-apa sebab diorang akan menjaga orang ramai juga, regardless of whatever it is, they won't go on strike. They will still
Yeah.
treat patients and everything. You cannot put that kind of a choice to doctors, right? I mean, yes, that's the Hippocratic oath, but at the end of the day, if their needs are not met, kalau diorang punya well-being macam you cakap, if they're feeling insecure about where they stand, diorang pun bermasalah juga, kan?
Yes, because in there's cases that affect their lifestyles. A lot of contract medical officers cannot get back loans from the banks, like for
Mm,
instance, buying properties or buying cars because they do not recognize because you're on contract.
yep.
And it's also reported at this moment. Today is the month of July. Those contract expiring end of the year is not being addressed to decide on their status whether there's renewal or not. So they are in the kind of limbo situations, they're living in the situations of uncertainties. And
Mhm,
marriage of the fact that their work now is very stressful. They have work overtime, I mean, longer than normal, and that kind of stress, I think we should live up, we should recognize and be in their shoes, feel for them, you know.
yeah. Ya, saya bersetuju sangat tu. Kerana apa? Kalau doktor-doktor ni, kalau pakar perubatan ni tidak dapat menjalankan tugas mereka dengan sebaiknya, if they cannot conduct their duties as what they should do, then this would just create chaos. Ini hanya akan menimbulkan keraguan dan juga kesilapan. Imagine overworked doctors not being paid well, being on contract, not having that security. Their minds, they're still humans at the end of the day. They
Yeah.
could actually make mistakes, and di atas kepenatan tu, di atas kesengsaraan yang mereka hadapi tu, this will not bode well with the nation. So, seperti yang Melvin cakapkan tadi, as what Melvin has said, please, anybody who's in charge, the government, the agencies, whoever it is that you are, please take care of our doctors. Even though they are contractual doctors, do not put labels on them. They do not have anything on their forehead, apart like my shiny head. They are still doctors as professionals, and we should treat them as such. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a very hot topic for the first one, isn't it? Itu pun dah panas lah. Kita dah cerita pasal well-being of doctors ini. We're feeling the heatness about it.
No, if
Ah,
they go on strike at the end of the month, what happened to our medical systems? That's
mhm,
something I worry, and I'm sure a lot of people worry. If we do have the kind of 5 figures every day of positive cases, imagine if someone stay a week in the hospital and you get
mhm.
accumulated for 7 days, 70 over 1,000 people. Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
You know, and we don't,
exactly.
yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
enough of the staff to attend to them.
Yeah, itulah dia. As mentioned, we need to take care of the well-beings of our professionals as well. Speaking about taking care of the well-beings of the professionals, now let's just apa orang kata, kita ghostan sikit, kita reverse sikit. Let's talk about the well-being of us as human beings, because why? The next topic yang kita nak highlight adalah Yes, betul. Waktu PKP, waktu COVID-19, waktu COVID-19, we need to wear these kind of things. But people, why you guys are polluting Mother's Earth? Why are you guys polluting
Yes,
Malaysia with mass pollution now? Come on, Melvin, what is this all about? Are people just don't they care anymore?
we still have a lot of people that's uncivil-minded.
Hmm.
There's a lot in my neighborhood. I'm very ashamed to say that they just throw it on the roadside,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then this materials is not. I read the articles. It takes 450 years to dispose. There
Yeah, they're
are
not
artificial,
biodegradable.
there are artificial fibers and all these things. And then why this unculture, not only uncivilized, uncultured people, they never
Mm-hmm.
think of their generations to come. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so this is pure. Well, we have to wear, and I believe even after lockdown, even our pandemics uh, is over, I think it's good to wear a mask, a face mask now. I think it's not because it's nice or what, but you will you will avoid like air pollutions and other things, you know. So we have to play safe. But you see, all these are trained around in the neighborhood, everywhere you see. Can't you just throw it in your dustbins or bins and throw it on a proper system? I mean, I say in the condo, we have all the bin. What we do every day, we tie our rubbish, we put in a disposal bag, a plastic bag, and we go to we go to a place, the big bin where we dispose of. You know, not as when you like. Some people throw up from the car window or whatever it is. I mean, it's you can't imagine how these people think, what's in their mind.
Okay, my question to you, or should I say, the discussion that I want to bring to you is that takkanlah sampai benda-benda macam ni pun. Like you have to have people from the higher ups, the authorities and whatnot, to always remind you to dispose of your mask properly. Make sure you buang you punya topeng ataupun pelitup muka dalam tong sampah dengan betulnya. Can't people just have these kind of common sense untuk when they want to throw rubbish? Because again, you don't throw a dirty diaper just like that, isn't it? Because mask essentially at the end of the day, it's like a dirty diaper sebab dia banyak kekotoran dekat situ, dia dah banyak bakteria dekat situ. Your air that you breathe out, it contains a lot of bacteria. Don't these people have that I mean,
No,
you don't even have to be a scholar. You tak payah ada PhD. You tak payah belajar University Oxford untuk tahu yang you have to throw mask in rubbish bins. What is going
okay.
on with Malaysians?
How come, Mio? Don't talk about face masks. The training habits, the so-called this kind of culture it happens a long time ago. Dumping face masks to them is probably a very something light. Do you know that people dump their used sanitary towel from the flat apartments that live?
Maybe they want to see it fly.
Yes. To test whether it's
Oh
flying.
my, oh my goodness. Oh,
So that
okay.
kind of culture, I mean, that kind of mentality, we don't need to be educated or study, you know.
Mm,
And what should we do about that?
mm,
You know, I have seen a lot of places. Uh, no offense if I say something wrong. Those low cost apartments flat,
mm-hmm.
they
Okay.
just dump things up from the window.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been built in them, the culture. So dumping a face mask, they will take it. Oh, what is that? If I dump things like dirty laundry or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing all these times. And then sometimes I always feel pity because our apps, we have a lot of complaints about rubbish dumping and all these things. So I always tell my of course we work very closely with our authorities like SW Corps, Alam Fora. They do a very good job, but I really sympathize with them because they do and report to us. It's clean up. The next days, those communities around that area start to dump things back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do get where you're coming from because kadang-kadang yelah dari aspek culture ataupun the way that we are being brought up, it could be different cara pembelajaran dan sebagainya. But I also have to rebut you on that fact as well. Yes, of course, there have been some cases if you go see, PPR or low cost area or something like that, people may dump their rubbish just freely and whatnot. But you just did mention that your apartment within your neighborhood, people just, dump things out of the window. I've seen myself around my neighborhood, which is a typical suburban area or even high end
Mm.
once across my street. I could see people just chucking things out, just not giving care in the world. They think is that, this is just one rubbish. This is not fine. I actually blame their parents. Can I blame their parents or not? I really want to blame their parents.
Actually, I hope that in the household themselves as somewhat educated or civilized, not educated, at least some civilized, like the children's or their parents are please do not dump things out kind of manner. And we brought this up issue about dumping, not on facial mask, in our evening show a few months back, years back. I can recall this is before we wanted to do at Now mobile app. Is someone in the PKR flat dump a broken chair from the top level, and unfortunately this boy was a school kid. It fell on his head and he died immediately.
Wow. Okay.
This is a true case, and of late, I think last year, they sued DPKL, and then DPKL I think make a compensations, but then that money is nothing you can buy back alive.
Of course.
Yeah, and that parents, I think the boy is about 11 years old or 12 years old. That's about it.
Yeah, it is a very scary thought because like these kind of things, you may think that it's something minor, you may think that it is something minuscule, but it can impact others in a very big way. Like how our friend has mentioned here, Fabian has actually said that this is all boiled down to from culture mentality, not only mass garbages being discarded everywhere. I do agree with you, Fabian. At some point in this, yes, it is down to culture. And it is also down to education as well, because like it or not, at the end of the day, it is how you're being brought up. It's what you see normally. If you see your father throws rubbish out of the window of a moving car, more often than not, the son and the daughter will do the same thing. It is all about what you're accustomed to. And benda ni akan menjadi perkara biasa kalau kita tak halang dia daripada titik awal lagi. Melvin.
Yes, well, remember our episode 2, we talked about leadership by example.
Yes.
This is it.
Yeah, it's all about showing the best example. Yelah, tak kisah you menteri ke, you ketua pengarah ke, you bapa ke, you abang ke, you mak ke dan sebagainya. At the end of the day, you are a leader in your own right, and it's your action and it's your perlakuan sebenarnya yang akan ditiru, yang akan diikut oleh people around you. So make sure that you guys, have the best manners ever, have the proper I mean, again, it's just about common sense. I know that common sense is not common anymore, but people, human beings, please try to be as proper as you possibly can. Dua topik kita dah bawa ni, Melvin. Dua topik kita dah bawa ni. Kita dah cerita pasal common sense juga. Dah panas ni. Tapi kita ada topik kita. Yeah, no offense. No, again, kita bukan nak highlight semua orang. Saya mengaku sebagai manusia, saya juga ada pernah melakukan kesilapan. I admit that I have done things wrong as well in the past, and I'm not perfect. Melvin is not perfect, but we try to tell ourselves to make sure that we are better tomorrow than we are today, and we are even better than we are the next day after tomorrow, because that's how we want to improve our lives, gradually.
Yes, we want to progress in life.
Exactly. So, Melvin, we don't usually have a third topic that we want to discuss, but you have a third topic in mind. What do you want to talk about, Melvin?
Well, something about animal cruelty.
Okay. Educate us. What is about animal cruelty that you want to highlight?
Well, this of late there's a report. This is a Marjorie's up north, right?
Okay.
What happened is that in our reports, in our now we do have occasionally reports about wild dogs in the neighborhood and all these things. But But this municipal of councils of Kulim, they are in the limelight now because they use cruelty, abusing and killing the dog, and not following the SOP.
Okay.
All right. And now 12 NGOs are suing the municipal councils of Kulim for originating brutally against stray dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So we went viral, and this is something painted a very bad picture of the councils.
Mm-hmm.
This enforcement officer should be guilty. I'm sure the councils will not allow cruelty or abusing while doing the undertaking the job. There's a certain SOP to follow. So I actually come across this video, but me being an animals lover, I was I don't want to watch it. I don't want to get into too emotions. And next 2 days, the article came out in the paper, and now was it yesterday? 12 NGOs actually suing Kulim Municipal Council, and this kind of news actually goes out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone would think all councils are alike. So it actually paints a bad picture of the councils. It's like an apple spoil the whole basket, you know.
Yeah.
So even Tan Sri Lee Lam Thai has voiced out. He said action should be taken against the MPKK enforcement workers for their act.
Yeah.
Wow. So I would love. I like to actually voice out and actually say that I believe the council has no such SOP, but it's the people, their workers, their enforcers who has painted a bad picture on the councils.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like we from ACT now, we definitely do not condone this action. Kita memang tidak sokong perkara ni 100% because at the end of the day, you know, manusia ke haiwan ke, dia ada caranya untuk kita lakukan. Imagine if these were human beings, contohnya kita ada pendatang asing tanpa izin. Are we supposedly just bring them around to the back of your house and just shoot them one by one just like that because they're a nuisance to your country? No, obviously not. You know,
No.
you tak seksa diorang. You because like diorang ni semua bernyawa, haiwan pun bernyawa. They are
Yeah.
living things. There are ways, even though they may be a nuisance to the community. Mungkin diorang spread diseases dan sebagainya. Tapi you cannot just, you know, purposely, you know, like put them down in a very carnage kind of way. Even if you have to put them down, I believe that the veterinarians have a certain medical way to put them down peacefully and properly. Kalau mana-mana municipal council, kalau mana-mana badan kerajaan ataupun daerah yang ingin melakukan sesuatu ini, please refer to the professionals. Tolong referkan balik kepada mereka yang benar-benar mengetahui kerana apa setiap benda yang dilakukan tu harus ada pantang larangnya, harus ada jalan yang sebenarnya, harus ada prosedur yang telah ditetapkan. This is close to being barbaric, isn't it, Melvin?
It is. So we have to acknowledge now that we always been watched. The moment we step out from a house, we don't know who is capturing us.
Mm.
All right. So be careful. Just be careful because you will have karma.
What do they say about karma? Karma is a B word. Okay, I'm not going to say it here. Itulah sebenarnya because like you know it is a very good point because at the end of the day tak kisahlah whether you're an animal lover or not, whether you cintakan haiwan ataupun tidak, but they are still living things and please don't resort into you know being barbaric ataupun melakukan perkara-perkara yang keterlaluan. You know, I mean like if a cat always comes to your house, maybe he poops, you know, the cat poops around your garden and everything. Yeah, you get annoyed. Yeah, you get you know chived off and everything, but
There were
don't
cases
suddenly. Sorry.
There were cases of such that people that come to their house, gardens, and make dirty, probably it was poured with hot water.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I know. I will never resort to that. I have cases where you know neighboring cats actually come to my garden and they actually poop on my garden. But you know, I'll just take a deep breath. Yeah, it is annoying, obviously, because it's not your cat that's doing all of this. but
Yeah.
don't resort to these kind of things, because again, they're still living animals. Worst case scenario, you go confront the neighbor You just knock on their door
Yes,
and
tell your
complain to the
neighbor,
neighbor.
okay, okay, your neighbor, or if
Exactly.
you want to frighten the cat, probably cold water instead of hot boiling water.
Yeah.
All
Oh.
right, and animals. I think some animals, we say animals doesn't have a brain, but they have you humans have a brain. Please do
Yeah.
what is right. They do have feelings too.
Exactly. Exactly. So just be mindful, again, coming back to what I've mentioned before, have some common sense, even though it's not common anymore. Have common sense. Don't do things that you don't like people to do onto you. Itu je.
That's right.
Jangan lakukan sesuatu jikalau anda sendiri tak suka benda itu dilakukan terhadap anda.
You
Alright, we
just
have
say it
come
out.
to
You
the
just say it out.
exactly. We have come to the end of our show, but before we go, as always, it's that time again. One German phrase a day. So I just want to ask Melvin again. Melvin, you dah belajar dua phrase dah. Any chance you remember any one of them?
Meal good, dangen. Meal good, dangen.
No,
Right.
it's okay. Okay, let
Meal
me just
good.
correct you. It's mir geht's good, danke,
Meal good.
which means I'm good. Thank you. So one phrase that I wanna share with you guys today is a phrase that normally you would go to the restaurant and you wanna order something, but before you wanna order, you wanna go to the toilet because you cannot tahan already. So you wanna ask the waiter, "Wo ist die Toilette?"
Void, VOID.
Wo
Wo,
ist die Toilette?
wo is the toilet?
Yep. Which means
Where is the toilet? Something like that.
exactly. The most simple thing, if you're stuck in Germany and you have to go when nature calls, if you do not know where the closest facilities are, just go up to any German and you say it, Melvin?
What is the toilet?
Okay. Great. You
Sounds like
got that. That was the most convincing in comparison to the previous two that you have learned before. Yes,
I
that's
always
all,
try to
folks.
twist my tongue.
Well, German is not that difficult of a language, but it is still difficult to learn. But that's all, folks. Thank you so much, Melvin, for coming on again to the show.
All
Hope to see
right,
you again
you're
tomorrow,
welcome.
Melvin.
I hope to see everyone tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday,
All
end of the
right.
week. Oh, it's fast. Definitely it's
Cheers,
fast.
Melvin.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, guys. Again, that was Melvin together, sharing with whatever it is that we have discussed in regards to the two topics in hand, which was the contract doctors on strike as well as the mask pollution. And also we touched about not child, billah, ya Allah, human cruelty towards animals. Okay, these are the kind of things that we want to highlight to you guys so that people stop what they're doing so that they don't, go on like this forever. Itu saja dari kami dari Hot Issue What's for Lunch. Hope you guys had a good day so far and enjoy your lunch and hope to see you guys again tomorrow. We're going to be coming back tomorrow. My green screen pun dah terbang dah dekat belakang. Hope to see you guys again. Assalamualaikum and have a very good afternoon. Cheers.